Kingston 25. Click subscribe. That's right. Kingston 25.
Hello there, how are you going? Welcome to Sydney, Australia. Let me give my perspective on the recent controversy among a vocal minority in the United States about an Australian-made KFC commercial that some people have described as being racist. I'm a British guy, I've been in Australia a few years now, so as an outsider, with a bit of an Aussie perspective because I've been here, I will give my point of view. Neither am I American. Do I find the advert racist? Not at all. Do I believe there's racism in Australia? Of course, and I have seen it. Of course it exists here. Among a minority, I think most Australians are great, but there are indeed racists here. But the advert was not itself racist. Let me describe the advert. It was an Australian sitting in the audience at a cricket match. Now, he was on his own with a lot of West Indian supporters supporting the West Indian cricket team, naturally. And he says, and he addresses the audience watching the commercial, do you ever have one of those awkward moments? He then gets out a bucket of chicken, and all the West Indian fans love his juicy chicken. It breaks the ice. Now, some people in America, some commentators, have described the advert as racist, saying that it depicts an American stereotype that blacks love fried chicken. I don't know if that's true, but that's a stereotype, and some people certainly find that offensive. Now, a lot of people have said this advert is insulting to a lot of African Americans, not a term I particularly like because I think it gives a label to people who may feel it doesn't belong to them, and it's very generalised, so I call them black Americans anyway. Anyway, it kind of depicts them as this stereotype, but of course the advert is not about black Americans or African Americans. It's about an Australian with West Indian fans. Now, the West Indians are having great fun in the commercial. They're playing music, they're cheering their team. It's a great party. Nothing unruly, nothing wrong with that. And the guy says he feels awkward because he's sitting with a bunch of West Indian supporters. I've had a similar experience in London. I'm English, of course. I went to the cricket match with an Australian friend. I was an English guy in a crowd full of Australians. It felt a bit awkward. It was fun, but it felt a bit awkward. I wanted to support the English team, but of course it was difficult when you're sitting with thousands of Australian supporters. So I've been in that situation. The fact that he was a white guy with blacks, I don't find racist at all. If the advert was aimed at Americans, which it was not, it was aimed at an Australian audience, yes, I would understand the racial connotations, but we don't have those racial connotations here in Australia. We don't feel that blacks have a special liking for KFC over anybody else, okay? So it's not racist in the context that it was shown. If you want to find offence in anything, well, you can find offensive in almost anything if you want to. You know, almost anything that's said, almost any commercial, if I look for it carefully enough, I could probably find something vaguely offensive. This advert was not offensive, and it was not racist. Have the West Indians found it offensive? No, they haven't. The head of the West Indian Association in Perth, for instance, said the advert was taken out of context, and really some of the reactions have been complete overreactions. It's not been racist at all. Has there been any official protests from the West Indies or any West Indians I know of? None at all. The only people who've really been attacking it has been a vocal minority in America who do not get the context of the adverts. Now, I love Americans, great people, but on this one, and I have to say, the majority of Americans in polls seem to have not found the advert racist, but a vocal minority have, and I suggest they're probably white, middle-class, educated people who think they know what's best for all of us. I notice on YouTube a lot of black YouTubers have made videos actually supporting the advert and saying they don't find it racist. And worst of all, by saying the advert's racist, I think it actually cheapens the impact of real and genuine racism. And that, for me, is the real failure with the complaints made about it. So do I think the advert was racist? Not at all. It was an innocent advert. It was a bit of a bad advert, I have to say. I don't think it was great fun, but it was amusing in parts, but certainly not racist. It was just taken out of context. Thanks.
Kingston 25. Click subscribe. That's right. Kingston